Cool. It's working. All right. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. All right. Tyler, can you hear me? I thought you were in school today, Tyler. Can you hear me? Probably shouldn't be watching my channel if you're in the middle of school, bud. Just saying. Okay. Okay. Well, as long as you're not breaking any rules. Oh. Sorry, Tyler. I'm doing some work, so unless we get lots of people that come in and want to start chatting and asking questions, I am probably going to focus on work. Just working. Just working. I do, during the week, I do cybersecurity and AI and machine learning. I hope I get to 20K too practical. That would be awesome. Is that what I put? Did I put 20K or 10K? I'd love to get all the way up to 100K. That would be amazing. I think I read somewhere that if you are at like 100,000 viewers, if you're putting out fairly regular content, you can do pretty okay in terms of your compensation, your monetization. Here we go. Thank you, anybody that is that's subscribing. I promise I will interact if you chat. I check the chat every couple minutes, so maybe that's something I can do. What's up, sponsor? What's going on, bud? Oh, believe me, I am. Doing AI and machine learning on my other computer. Well, between below average Utah dad as a brand, trying to get that up and going, between doing cybersecurity stuff, helping my wife with her business. Yeah, it probably wasn't your best bet. I understand that. Most days, like, I work on a computer, and so that doesn't always sound like it's not physically demanding, but mentally it is absolutely draining because I sit here, I write reports, I create machine learning data tables, I process new scripts through AI, and then you wait and you wait and you wait. And so you're constantly like studying or reading up on something or trying to figure out what kind of product is generated and then if it can be changed, and you're bent over like that. And I know it's not the same as a physically demanding job or an on the road job, but sometimes it's just like, and I get it's a first world problem. It's yeah, still. Your work PC is on a VPN? Cool. Is it a VPN that they built for you, or is it a VPN that you built specifically for work? I speak network engineer, so. What? Oh, I forgot to change the name of my other account. Wait, is this somebody I know? Is this one of my buddies? Am I trying to engage with someone that doesn't actually want to engage? Oh, sorry, I totally like spaced out. This is not a sponsor. Yeah. Oh. So, to give you an idea, this is what I'm currently working on. Review the attached file using the activities below. So I've got a list of things. I've got a list of other stuff. Read and compare the control association answers to the components. Utilize Copilot to reverse correlate the answer to the control. Does the description point to the control identified? If a new control is found, add to the list with rationale. If you cannot tie the control to the component, remove that control. Utilize Copilot and NIST 853 to find any legit child controls. Add the row under the parent control if found. Be sure to always add or remove the row, not the individual cells. Be sure to have 853 rep 5 open when reviewing. This will allow you to verify Copilot as it can and give controls not in rep 5. We'll meet next week to discuss process for URM. So, I get to review a list of controls that I helped build based on what's called the NIST 853 Rep 5, which is Risk Management Framework for Cybersecurity Best Practices and Policies. And now that I built it, now they want us to go in and review what we built and make sure that it's actually correct by determining like if it actually applies to the control listed. Let's say there's only two. Should be at least 4 watching. What up? Back to work. Yep. Sounds right, Jolly. Thanks, bud. Oh, boy. Going a little slower today, folks. That's okay. That's okay. I actually was really excited. Nobody's online right now. So. Oh, three concurrent views. What should we do? Should we put a... What's going on again? Okay.
And just kind of react a little bit to the new characters, the visuals that are there. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, which is a weird old choice, but we'll get there. Because also, like I said, Ed Boon has been talking to Entertainment Weekly alongside director Simon McQuoid, detailing the movie itself. And I do want to throw in that this ongoing Mortal Kombat series of movies is a trilogy, which was already covered. Way back in 2021, the original co-writer, Greg Russo, said that they wrote the movies to be a trilogy. So Mortal Kombat 1... 2021 was a before the tournament movie. This is the tournament movie, which was always the thing that a lot of people wanted in the original movie. I was someone who kind of couldn't believe they had one big prologue for a whole movie. Like, what are we doing? But this movie is going to be the tournament movie, so that's, tick box 1 of things that we're fixing. And then apparently movie 3 is going to be the aftermath of whatever happens in this movie. But this Mortal Kombat 2 movie, the tournament itself, is going to be about Earth being defended, Earthrealm being defended against the invasion of Outworld. So that's Shao Kahn. That's the absolute tank of a man that is Martin Ford, that they've cast as Shao Kahn, one of the characters that's now been revealed. You can see his mask behind me now. I'm not going to lie. Dude looks a little bit like a bad Terminator.
This didn't do it justice, right? Because I saw this pic and thought, wow, he looks a bit like a Power Ranger. But then Scott actually pointed me in the direction of the actor who was playing Shao Kahn, and that might be the biggest man I've ever seen in my entire life, and I've seen some big men.
Me too. We used to work for a big man. They need to show the picture of this guy in the full costume, like the full bony armor, the whole thing, because that's going to massively convince everybody far more than just the headshot. This makes him look thin.
It does. It's weird. Really skinny neck.
Like an animatronic or something. But still, hopefully, so far the casting is incredible. There's a lot more characters that I want.
Test.
If we're talking about tick boxes of things that need fixing, Lewis Tan's character, Cole Young, one of the most despised characters in Mortal Kombat, the protagonist of the first movie. I don't know, he came down on this guy.
I'm so pleased that you reminded me of his name, because I knew it was called something.
Blandman.
I almost called him Joe Cole, but that's
might an ex-footballer.
He might as well have been. Yes, I liked when I was checking the cast list, and this is not necessarily indicative of his role in the movie, but he was snugged right in the middle, like a nice mid-carder, like Cole Tan should be. Nothing against the actor, who did as good as he could have in that first movie, but he was a character I didn't think you needed in that film. He was almost an audience surrogate, messed around with the mythology of the games a little bit in ways that I know you didn't like, and overall, in a movie stacked with interesting characters and really cool actors, he felt like a spare part in a way.
So it's worth saying that, yes, that was clearly, it seemed like that was the intention of the character, have a newcomer, have someone who can represent the audience, be a newcomer to all the different characters, to all the different power sets that are in the universe of Mortal Kombat through this character. However, Cole Young's character was just plot armor. He could just put some armor on, and then he could be punched a lot, and then he would punch you back a bit harder. It was just lame. It was really, really bad.
Is it called Cole? I called him Cole Tan. Where have I got that
Lewis
from?
Tan is the actor.
Oh,
Cole
that's
Young
what I'm doing. I've already forgotten. You told me his name 5 seconds later. Gone. That's how unmemorable he was.
I mentioned this dude, though, because he is on the cast list, and he has done interviews leading up to the reveal of this movie, so it seems like he's still going to appear in the movie. And if you watch Mortal Kombat in 2021, that movie Stinger ended in a gym with Lewis Tan / Cole Young in there before they showed a Johnny Cage poster, and it seems like we're transitioning over. Now, there is a specific line from Ed Boon in the Entertainment Weekly interview where he literally says that Johnny Cage is replacing, this Cole Young as the main character. Like, they're hanging the whole thing on Carl Urban now. Like, he's going to be the face of this thing. Johnny Cage is the new star. And there's a whole thing here about how this version of Cage is a washed-up Hollywood guy thrown into this magical, ultra-violent thing. Carl's depiction of Johnny Cage is different than our games in some ways. He's adding his own flair to it, but I think it'll feel fresh. There's a novelty factor in there. It's worth saying that, because I referenced at the start of this video that I think Carl Urban's a weird choice.
I remember you saying this when it was first announced way back when, a good few years ago.
Yeah, because as much as I love Carl Urban, and I genuinely do, I think he's phenomenal, I love The Boys and whatever, I just don't see Johnny Cage energy in Carl Urban. However, Johnny Cage, the character from MK10 onwards, has been a more refined three-dimensional character and not just a big egotistical, over-the-top dude. So maybe they're doing that version of him, with him mentioning the whole washed-up actor thing. If he has to, reapproach how he got there, and maybe do that kind of thing, and he's this washed-up action star, and can he still deliver, and he's channeling his young self and whatever. There's a lot of that in MK10 and 11, so it seems that you can do a little bit more with the character. But what do you think of them just going like, Lewis Tan? No.
Yeah, I think
Carl Urban? Yes.
It makes sense. I mean, I'm a huge Carl Urban guy. Hilariously, though, I haven't seen The Boys. I've heard he's really good in it, but I like him in everything else I've seen him. So I was really
diabolical,
excited.
Mate.
Is that
That's
a pun?
a
little reference for you there?
Yeah.
Don't understand that reference, actually. No, I really like Karl Urban. I think he can bring a lot to this role. Johnny Cage, honestly, isn't one of my favorite MK characters anyway. And I do like what they have done with him across the past few games, fleshed him out a little bit, not sacrifice the complete egotism, like you said, that the earlier iteration of the character had, but added just a little bit more depth to him, like you said, that kind of washed up nature of him, reliving past glories and stuff like that. And I think Karl Urban currently just plays that sort of washed out, charismatic but absolute failure of a man really well. Nothing indicative of Karl Urban himself. He's probably a great guy, but he plays it well.
But that is entirely Butcher's character.
Right,
so there is that. In reference to the whole idea of it being a tournament movie, Ed Boon says that throughout the movie there'll be a visual representation of who's winning. It's not just a tournament for the sake of a tournament. There are huge consequences, so you're really keeping score, and there are a lot of twists that keep you on your toes. We'll run down the characters themselves that have been revealed alongside this. I mentioned Shao Kahn before, played by Martin Ford. There is also Adeline Rudolph as Katana with incredible looking armor.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to do the whole thing with Katana and Liu Kang, if they're going to do the whole romance lead or whatever. But Katana, I think, looks really, really strong here in terms of matching the look from the game. I will say overall that the overall cast, I think, is phenomenal. Joe Taslim returning as Sub-Zero, Hiroyuki Sanada returning as Scorpion, Tadanobu Asano as Raiden. Like, you've got grade A top tier people who were largely wasted in the first movie. Yeah. Not Joe Taslim though. Sub-Zero stuff was awesome. But yeah, Adeline Rudolph as Katana and Hiroyuki Sanada returning as Scorpion in like just a bit of a brighter lit version of the old armor in the shot that's revealed. But looks awesome. Entertainment Weekly say in their report that they can reveal that Quan Chi is in this movie from Mortal Kombat 4, played by Damon Herriman, who I don't know.
I like this guy.
But he looks like a creepy guy.
You'll know him because he has famously, across the past 10 years or something, played Charles Manson twice. He played in Once Upon a Time in America, the Tarantino film, and in Mindhunter. He's really good at playing horrible little freaks, and he's got an imposing stature.
That
as
is
well
all you need.
Quan Chi's more lean frame. Let's say.
I hope they do more stuff with, because there's a whole thing in here where they talk about obviously the legendary rivalry between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, the fact that that's going to be happening alongside the tournament. It's mentioned that Scorpion doesn't really care about the Earth's greatest hero side of things, which he never does in the games or the main story anyway.
Listen, I know we need Scorpion and Sub-Zero in these movies.
Yes.
Can we not just get a spin-off focused on those two?
You would think so.
They were the best part of the first film. I like the first film, but I don't think it gets better than that opening sequence between them that is set like 100 years in the past or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's great. Commit to that bit. They have those actors are so intense. They have great on-screen chemistry, even though they don't do much dialogue and they're just beating the crap out of each other, but you can feel it. They absolutely nail just the almost mythological beings that Scorpion and Sub-Zero are.
Scorpion vs. Sub-Zero is larger than Mortal Kombat. It's like everyone recognizes, even the color scheme. If you showed a yellow aura fighting a blue aura, you would think of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They're just that iconic. And yeah, you're right. The way that the first movie opened was immediately iconic and got people so hyped up. They released the entire scene before the movie released. I will put alongside that, in terms of where the first movie peaked, the Sub-Zero fighting the cops, fighting Jax.
Everything was Sub-Zero, right?
Yeah.
That early bit
freezing the bullets in midair.
When Sub-Zero is chasing all of these people down, and he's practically Sub-Zero Terminator, and he just can't be stopped. He is so menacing, so intimidating. And you get a little bit of that towards the end as well, where he's fighting all of the heroes, including Scorpion. But I hope that intensity is dialed up even more in this sequel with them.
There's a whole thing throughout this interview where they ostensibly get to the idea that, obviously, like I said, it was a trilogy, but this is the one where things really, they're allowed to take the shackles off and really go for it. And McCoy says at the end of the interview that they want to let it rip. So they have a lot of ideas that maybe they couldn't do in the first movie, or they just want to build up to it or whatever, but they're going for it.
Hopefully they don't let it rip in a farting way, Scott. That wouldn't be good.
Ripping and tearing, that's the new...
I don't know about you, but I am sick of the same old brands raising their prices whenever they feel like it. I think it's time to move on to someone new, someone hungrier, with fire in their belly. Wait, I know! Red Dragon!
Actually, there's only one D, so wouldn't it be Redragon or Red Dragon?
No, Red Dragon. And they make more than just budget-oriented peripherals these days. They have such a broad lineup, including PC components, that we could easily build a sick battle station and save some money by ditching the mainstream carriers and flying Scarlet Drake. The only question is, does Red Dragon still just focus on stuff you'd buy for your little brother, or have they leveled up to manufacturing gear you'd want to buy for yourself? Just like I've leveled up this segue to our sponsor.
Signal RGB! Ditch the proprietary software and control the RGB lighting of over 100 brands using a single, clean interface with hundreds of effects and game integrations. Check it out using our link today.
Red Dragon makes a lot of what we're going to need to complete our setup, but they don't make everything. So we're going to start with a speed round of the parts that invoke smog without being Red Dragon TM, if you know what I mean. Starting with the AMD Ryzen 7 5800 X3D.
Team Red's AM4 gaming beast!
Okay, we've also got an Asus B450M Dragon motherboard.
It's called Dragon, and it's red!
32 gigs of G-Skill DDR4 at 2600 megatransfers per second.
Ridges look so fine they get donkey excited.
And of course, an ADATA XPG SX8100 NP SSD that...
If you squint, the logo looks like a dragon! No, squint more.
Moving on, while Red Dragon does actually make some older RAM and SSD products for markets like Brazil and India, we struggled to find a source that both had them in stock and was able to ship them to us. And besides, we wanted to focus more on the parts that you might actually consider for your next rig. Like this case, the GC218M.
Grinder!
An option that seems to be available in far more regions. Huh. That's actually pretty roomy for an MATX chassis, and it features tempered glass on both the side and front for a 180-degree view. 180 Red Dragon, not 270. Maths errors aside, this thing looks kind of decent. It's got a removable fan filter on the top. It's got these reverse airflow fans so that you don't have to look at the ugly backside of the hub. And oh, that's interesting. These two fans are actually one unit. So the convenient part is that you can plug them in with just one cable, but the inconvenient part is that you can't separate them and put them somewhere else. Got a fan mount down here that'll draw fresh air in from another filtered intake on the bottom, and oh, look at that, it's even compatible with back-to-front motherboards. I kind of like it. Now that that's all in there, I'm looking pretty good, I might add. It's time for cooling, which is going to be handled by the HL360 aRGB CCW 3014 aRGB. Okay, we got a completely different product from what we ordered, but it looks the same. It looks like a generic AIO cooler, which makes sense because it's kind of a generic AIO cooler. I do like, though, that Red Dragon has helpful graphics on the product page that show the size and flow path for the radiator, and I also like the infinity mirror and included fluid dynamic bearing fans. With that said, looking at their claims about the pump, I'm not sure if I can believe that their mirror is truly infinite, or that their bearings are truly fluidly dynamic. 20 decibels? Since I'm complaining, Red Dragon, your website, I have some notes. That desperate little animation on the add to cart button, that is super annoying. I understand how online shopping works, you guys, and I will add this thing to my cart when I am gosh dang ready. Also, while there is no one right way to run a company that ships all around the world, there are wrong ways, and having very different websites for different regions with then separated product-focused and sales-focused sites makes buying directly from you a very low confidence experience. Also, while we're at it, can you please clearly mark the products or even entire categories that you no longer sell? I was quite disappointed to find out that none of these gaming chairs were available. At least we could still get power supplies like the Red Dragon PSU 007 80 plus gold 850 watt ATX fully modular power supply, 80 plus gold certified, compact 160 millimeter size, and low noise RGB fan 0 RPM, 100% Japanese capacitors, full mod cables. And no, I didn't just read out the entire description and tech specs. That is the title of this power supply on their webpage.
Wow, that title really drags on.
Jokes about the title aside, this is actually a reasonably compelling looking package, and it doesn't immediately feel cheap and garbage. Maybe we'll have to have the lab take a look at it and make up a little test report. David, do you think we could do that?
Heck yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's even got the 12 volt 2x6 connector and everything. Fully modular. Just need to finish up the cable management. Don't look at that. Instead, look at this. The one last part we have for our build that is not made by Red Dragon, as they don't currently make graphics cards. Although, we did notice that there is a GPU option in their dropdown that doesn't go anywhere yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they just have a member on their team who really wishes that they made GPUs, or maybe they have a member on their team who really just doesn't care about managing their website. Either way, we went with this Red Devil 5700 XT from Power Color. What? Devils have horns? Dragons have horns? Besides, once it's all together, who's gonna call me on it? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Great job, Red Dragon and adjacent. Let's fire it up. Oh. Before we can do that, we're gonna need some peripherals. We couldn't find a ton of information, at least in English, on the Coral 2 gaming monitor. What does Coral have to do with dragons exactly?
More than the PSU 007 80 plus gold.
Okay, I get it. Anywho, it's 1440p, apparently overclocks to 180 hertz with a 1 millisecond response time. Ow! And the website says VA curved or IPS, but claims a 1000 to 1 contrast ratio, meaning, I guess it's IPS?
Oh, that's the Coral one.
So it's IPS?
Probably VA?
That is a cheap, ugly power brick.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And that is a not height adjustable stand.
Oh, this one at least has DisplayPort.
Well, did the Coral one not?
On the website it says VGA and HDMI. I don't know if that's true because their website is very unreliable.
Big moment. Hey, all the RGB works, let's go. Those of you wondering, by the way, yes, I reversed that one fan on purpose. Noctua posted a blog post recently where they found that intaking air right at the top front of the case and then immediately exhausting it was actually detrimental for cooling. So I was like, why don't we try having 3 intakes at the front and then 2 at the back for positive pressure and to avoid that situation. Now I just need some inputs, and for that we've got, oh good, 3 anime products, or at least 2 anime products. Nope, 3 anime products. Red Dragon, you know you don't have to put anime in the product name, right? I can see that it's anime. Starting with the mouse pad, wow, do they ever make some bold claims. Skin-friendly, waterproof coated, lint roll. Are they saying that it is a lint roller or that they lint rolled it before they shipped it to you?
Look at this print quality. Oh no. That is some really unimpressive. It's got texture. That would be really, that's gonna peel in like a week.
Huh. Remember that bit recently where Lisa zooms in on Andrew's crotch and it's all caught in 4K? When I was feeling the texture, I was like, that is a really light mouse, which is a feature these days, but also just kind of feels cheap. With that said, the specs seem like it should be pretty decent. It features both Bluetooth and dongle connections with a 1000 hertz polling rate, and it handles up to 26,000 DPI using what is probably a PixArt PAW3395 sensor. We say probably because the website doesn't really have much in the way of useful information. Wow, this is a vibe already. And we haven't even got the keyboard on here yet. The Starblade K707 Pro. This is probably the strongest entry from Red Dragon, which kind of makes sense because I think this is kind of how they got their start, was budget gaming keyboards. In this case, it operates in USB-C, Bluetooth, or 2.4 gigahertz mode. It's got noise dampening foam ×5, and actually sounds pretty darn good. According to Red Dragon, it uses custom lubed linear mint Mambo switches, and it even offers a Mac and PC mode. Not a bad little package. How much does it cost?
It's currently $56 on sale.
Really? I mean, definitely a little bit plasticky, but in terms of how it actually feels, it's not bad. And the mouse is cheaper than we thought. It's like between 20 and 35 bucks, depending on which variant you go with. Not gonna lie, I'm actually feeling kind of good about this setup right now. Like, this thing is whisper quiet at idle, which, sure, it's idling, but a bad fan is a bad fan, and it's not gonna be quiet at any speed. And, you know, yeah, obviously this isn't the world's most amazing 180 hertz display, but it's 180 freaking hertz, and the mouse feels great for 20 bucks. What is it, 25, 20?
It was 20 bucks on sale for the yellow one. How would you like to feel a whole lot worse?
Okay.
Here's some more really not impressive looking accessories.
Oh. Ah!
That headband, though.
It feels better than I expected. Oh joy.
It doesn't go all the way up?
Maybe in the dark it goes up higher. Maybe the Surge Frostbite soundbar will be better with its, oh wow, style. 5 programmed backlight patterns. When you lead with that on your soundbar, it tells you that sound quality was not your top priority. Let's go ahead and put this here, and what else you got?
I've got the Hitman webcam. It's called the GW800 Online, but when we got the box, it's got a different name, so.
AUX mode.
What
Is it Bluetooth?
Oh, it does have Bluetooth.
No way.
Okay, that makes it a little bit more compelling.
You know what? It's kind of cool looking. In an I'm 14 and no girls have ever been to my bedroom kind of way. How much is it?
$60.
All right. Oh, we got to try the camera. Hey, there we go. The webcam's working. How do I look? Oh wow. Just not like that light above me, that's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I would say the detail level is fairly low. You can barely make out the amazing motherboard pattern on this 64-ounce water bottle from lttstore.com. These headphones are horrible.
I don't doubt it for 1 second.
Why did we pick this game? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
How do the mouse and keyboard feel?
Honestly, kinda okay.
Yeah.
I'd need to play a competitive FPS or something to really know how the mouse is, but so far, it seems great for what it is. The performance of the PC doesn't really matter because Red Dragon doesn't make any of the parts that contribute to that, but I am a little confused that we're running Skyrim at between 35 and 59 FPS, so it does feel a little kind of laggy.
I just like the sound of that keyboard. I think it sounds premium for its price.
Oh, definitely. For 55 bucks, Red Dragon definitely looking good in their like core competencies here.
Even this monitor, the colors are not great.
No,
but the
they're
clarity
really
is
not.
there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like VA, dude. I think the pixel response time is too good to be VA. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel cheap anymore once I'm gaming. It only feels cheap if I'm like analyzing it. But the clicks are nice, they're balanced, they're not too light, not too heavy. I think the mouse is the highlight for me.
Yeah. Even at its full price, 36 bucks, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Now seems like a good time for us to try the soundbar. Yeah. Okay, we're struggling a little bit in this game, but that's just down to the fact that we're using an older GPU. Overall, this setup actually seems pretty decent if we put all modern parts in it. How much did we pay for all this?
It was about $690 for all the Red Dragon stuff we have today.
Really?
Yep.
All the peripherals, monitor, case, cooler.
It's really competitively priced. I thought it was gonna be just a joke and a teardown of everything, but at the prices that they are, all this Red Dragon stuff's not so bad, outside of the audio stuff.
The mouse pad actually like feels really good. I actually really like the case too.
I think it feels a little cheap.
Sure,
But for 80
it is
bucks,
cheap.
yeah, for 80 bucks,
Yeah, with
not
2
so bad.
tempered glass panels
Yeah.
and pretty modern features. It's hard for me to say that I would buy them for myself with so many other options available, but it's also worth noting that Red Dragon seems to mostly focus on continents not called North America. From a quick browse of their product selection in those other markets, it seems like even if riding the Vermilion Worm might not make sense for everything over here, although some things are pretty good, it could be a really great experience somewhere like Brazil or India. Maybe leave a comment down below with your Red Dragon experience.
Okay. Don't think. Oh, maybe. You got people on? Mesleg? Got 3 versions of not a sponsor in Mesleg. I lost a sub. One of my subscribers left. So I've gotten a few. I've gotten like 15 today, I think. Yeah, I had 78 subscribers on Monday, 48 yesterday. I think it's time to put up a new short, and I think I'm going to stop the stream. I don't think it's doing me much good. So, thanks for trying, everybody.